Hello everyone, Dr. Jonathan Williams here with WGS Ministries. Today we move forward in our storytelling training. We're going to look at the topic of guilt, shame, and fear. Every person in the world is afflicted with these problems. These problems are feeling guilty for our sins and all the wrong things that we have done. They are feeling shame for the broken relationships that we have experienced in life. And for many people, they feel fear for powers that are greater than they are, things that are unseen. And usually this has to do with evil spirits. Some cultures of the world experience one of these much more than another. In the Western cultures of Europe and the United States, people prominently deal with the issue of guilt. In many Asian countries and South Asian countries, they deal with the issue of shame and honor, and that would be Middle East countries also. And then in many countries of the world, in the ones that I just mentioned, and in African cultures, they deal with the issue of fear. And this is the fear of evil spirits and how to deal with forces that are stronger than they are. Now, you have learned the 6 C's of God's story for the world. That begins with creation, and these stories take you all the way through the Old Testament into the New Testament, the life of Christ, and to the consummation. However, in our storytelling ministry, we have learned that it is helpful to begin with 3 introductory stories. Each one of these stories deals with an episode in the life of Jesus Christ, and they are exciting for people to listen to. One day, one of our team members was invited into the home of a Hindu priest and his wife. The Hindu priest was listening to the story and the wife was listening. It was the story of the woman who wept at the feet of Jesus and how she received forgiveness from Jesus. As our team leader was telling the story, he noticed that the wife of the Hindu priest was crying. Later, he asked her why she was crying, and she said, "I have never heard anything like this, where a holy man had such pure love for a woman and where God offered forgiveness for all her sins." That was a wonderful experience. In another village, our team was telling this same story. A woman walked by and then she stopped and she listened. After the meeting, she talked with the team about what she heard. And she said this, "My husband beats me every day because of my sin. I have asked forgiveness, but he continues to beat me. And so I decided to kill myself. But before I did, I came to your meeting to listen." And the story of the woman whose sin was forgiven by Jesus lets me know that he can forgive my sin also. And she gave her life to Christ that day. Stories like this are powerful, and God is using them throughout the world to touch the lives of people. And that is why we begin by telling people a story about Jesus. Now, there are 3 stories about Jesus that you can tell to introduce the entire story, the entire 6 C's of God's story for the world. And these 3 stories deal with the 3 big areas of guilt, shame, and fear. The story of guilt is the story of the woman who wept at the feet of Jesus. That's found in Luke chapter 7, verses 36 through 50. A great story on forgiveness. The story of the prodigal son is from Luke chapter 15, verses 11 through 32. And this also is a story about forgiveness, no doubt about that. But it is also a story about shame, because the son greatly shamed his father by his actions. And he not only shamed his father, but his entire family, and he shamed the entire village. This is a story about shame that one brings upon himself and that one brings upon others because of their actions. And then there is a third story that deals with fear. This is the story of the demonized man that we can read in Mark chapter 5, verses 1 through 20. And we emphasize in this story that Jesus has all authority over all things, things we see, things that we do not see. Jesus has authority over them all. So there they are. The 3 big cultural drivers in the world with a story from the life of Jesus that is relevant for each one of them. So we began with a story about Jesus that is exciting and that moves the hearts of people. And then we teach our people to say something like this: I have many more stories to tell you about this wonderful man. There are many stories about how Jesus forgave people, he healed the sick, he gave sight to the blind, he freed people from evil spirits. You will love all these stories. But to understand the full reason why Jesus did these things and why he came into the world, you must learn the full story of God's love for the world. And so I would like to come to your home or to your village, as the case may be, as you're talking with people. But I would like to come to where you are on a regular basis and tell you all of these stories, to tell you the full story of God's love for the world. May I do this? And if they say yes, then you have an open door to visit them and tell them the one story in 6 parts, with all these stories starting with creation, going to catastrophe, the covenants, and so on. And you can show how all these stories are connected and how they lead to the great 4th C, the story of Christ. Then they have a better grasp of who Jesus Christ is and what he came to do. What will they learn about Jesus as they learn the entire story? Well, they will learn that he always lived. They will learn that he created all things. And the first point of the 6 C's is the stories of creation. And so we're connecting Jesus Christ to the creation of all things. And then they will learn that Jesus Christ is the solution to all the problems of the world. And that deals with the 2nd C, the C of catastrophe. They will learn that Jesus Christ is the one who fulfills all the promises of God. And that ties in with what they will learn in the stories of the covenant. And then they come to the 4th C, the C of Christ, where they hear about all that Christ has done. And we relate the stories of Christ to the 4 directions of life: up with God, out with others, down with creation, and in with our hearts. And they will find out that Jesus is the solution for the 4 directions of life, the problems that we have in each of those directions, and how he can restore us. And then we will tell them the stories about the commission, and that Jesus doesn't just leave us there, but he gives us a commission for us to go and tell the stories to other people. And how long do we do this? We do this until the Lord comes back, until the great consummation. So what you're doing is you're setting up a storytelling time where you can teach people the gospel from creation to Christ and beyond. In a sense, you're discipling them before they even get converted, as they learn the whole plan of God's love for the world. Now, we have one more training video for you. And in this video, we're going to teach you how to set up this storytelling time in someone's home. And once you set it up, what you will talk to them about and how you will lead a discussion in that storytelling time. I look forward to this, but until then, may the Lord bless you abundantly.